tactical first-person shooter that depicts a modern-day world in which SWAT police units are called to defuse a hostile and confronting situations. Sounds pretty hardcore. Not gonna lie. And I was very interested in this game. Yeah, I played a bit of SWAT in my life. Not very much, I will admit, so take this with a bit of grain of salt. But it always intrigued me that there was this game where killing people wasn't the actual objective. It was capture, it was arrest. It was much more realistic than just than almost any other game, really, that with police. It wasn't just about shootouts, it was about arrest. You know, and almost always innocent until proven guilty. That's why you're arrested. Well, count me not interested in Ready or Not anymore. Because they're not ready at all. So there was a bit of a kerfuffle online with Void Interactive, the developers of Ready or Not. And as per usual, it was driven on by the usual suspects and the rag Kotaku. Kotaku being one of the least trusted names in gaming news, and an all-around shite heap of a company that deserves to be put on a fucking fire and lit. So, they released a statement. Void Interactive Limited. We would like to start by saying that Void Interactive does not support or condone any form of racism, bigotry, or alt-right views, and any such views will never be tolerated by our development team or in our community. Define these, please, in this, if you could at all. I mean, you won't, because they're just buzzwords that mean nothing anymore. If you're wanting to actually, you know, be fair on this, you would also add in control left, anti-white racism, anti-white bigotry. You know, just the entire gambit. Why don't you say we does not support or condone any form of racism, bigotry, alt-right, control left, Antifa views, and any such views will never be tolerated by our development team or in our community. If you want to strike out at everything. Oh, I know why. Because you were targeted by one of these far left. I hate using the bloody term. I hate using the left, right, because it doesn't matter anymore. It's all about control. They continue on though. We have a diverse team of developers and contractors from many parts of the world and strive to create a welcoming environment for our player base and our people. Additionally, while our game touches on hard realities and mature topics, we have no intention for any other games we may produce to be a conduit for hate. What does this mean? What does this mean? What does any of this mean? How can a game be a conduit for hate? That's not like the gay killing games that were, you know, indie games that were developed by one person, usually to trigger Jim Sterling or whatever the hell its name is these days. Because that's what they were made for, to specifically piss off people like that. Or, you know, if they are genuinely hateful to gays, well, I mean, you can go fuck yourself, but I'm not going to stop you from being an idiot. What do these things? What does it mean to be a conduit for hate? Because watch this now. I tell you, I'll leave my prediction until the end. Intolerance has no place in Ready or Not. Well, you're already intolerant. You are already intolerant. You say intolerance has no place in Ready or Not, but you do not support or condone any form of racism, bigotry, or alt-right views, which you haven't defined, which could mean anything anyone labels, and any such views will never be tolerated. So intolerance has no place, right? So intolerance has no place. I forgot I have a mouse because I'm just pointing at the screen like a retard. Intolerance has no place in Ready or Not. Any such views will never be tolerated. Are you fucking stupid? Who wrote this? Whoever wrote this needs to be just needs to stop. Because this is clearly written in a panic because they got targeted by Kotaku and they think they have more power than they do. Regarding the level props that have been mentioned, these are placeholder assets that were put in place to fill otherwise bare spaces and were supplied by a contractor we no longer use. These assets will be replaced as we continue to develop the game. So, where is this? Addition new wall of game touches. No. Where's your classic diverse? There we go. We have a diverse team of developers and contractors from many parts of the world. Looks like one of those contractors wasn't diverse enough, I suppose. You pieces of shit. These are placeholder assets that are put in place to fill otherwise bare spaces, and were supplied by a contractor we no longer use. So you got rid of them because what? They're no longer diverse enough. Because they went and put. Don't worry, we'll get to the fucking in the next paragraph. Regarding the red pill boxes specifically, these were intended solely as a reference to the Matrix movie. So they weren't. So the above statement is a lie. They were put in place. Well, otherwise bare spaces. They're saying they're a placeholder, but you went and put them in as a reference to the Matrix. So they were purposely put in, not as a placeholder, but as a reference to the Matrix movie, because they're not going to get removed. Again, this is why I'm sure that this was written by someone who, well, one of several things happening. One, by a group of people who are panicking over getting bad press. Two, someone who has purposely written this to be as ridiculous as possible to piss people off to not buy the game. Or three, it's been written specifically bad by a bad faith actor who is actively letting little more chinks in the armor to let places like Kotaku have a bit more of a field day with your arseholes. That's what's going on here, really, isn't it? Okay. As a reference to the Matrix movie, Neo choosing between the red pill and the blue pill. A noggin jogger is slang for an activity or challenge that messes with the mind and is commonly used as a reference to complex puzzles or brain teasers. And you could have just not mentioned any of this at all. I just want to point this out again. You could have just said nothing. Or if you just came out and said, yeah, no, this is what it means. We're not removing it. Stop. God, what's it called? It's not... Well, one, they're cry-bullying. And they are... Oh, I forgot the term. Sure, it'll come to me later on. We take these allegations quite seriously, and rest assured that the development team was not aware of any hateful connections with the aforementioned props. We appreciate the community members that have brought up this concern, and for the avoidance of doubt, we have already taken steps to remove these placeholder assets, which you will note in the game's next update. I plan on removing that update. That change log when it comes out, because I want to go through the exact ones. So, remember now, we have gone so far that racism, bigotry, and alt-right views involve red pills. Like, that's racist, bigoted, and alt-right. A red pill is now there, is now all those three things. And so is the term noggin jogger, is racist, bigoted, and alt-right. What? So these terms don't mean anything now. Is that where we're at? Is that where we're officially at? Well, we've been at that for a while, but is this how far it's gone? Bloody hell. Appreciate the community. I loathe the term community. I loathe it with a passion. Commies. You've already taken, yep. It is worth noting that we were cautious about issuing a statement to Kotaku, given that... This is where it gets real fucking bad. Given that in the past they have produced articles with misleading headlines regarding our mutual split with publisher Team 17. We are saddened to see that this has happened again, but we are looking forward and will continue to correct the record whenever we can. So... Oh... You know Kotaku's a rag, you know that it lies, you know that it steals, you know that it cheats, you know that it just is factually false on almost everything that it does, that it's entirely staffed by cunts, that whatever they do, they deserve to just be ignored. But what did you do? You issued a statement to Kotaku. You could have gone to any of the streamers, any other news YouTuber and gotten your message out far more even-handed. Well, not any, you know, you need to avoid a fair amount of, well, some of them anyway. But you didn't want to do that, did you? Of course not. You went straight to Kotaku because you're idiots. You're morons. You deserve everything you get. Right, so what was the offending asset, I wonder? What was so bad that it... Oh. Courtesy of TechRaptor, because it was real hard to find this. This was one of the things that caused such a stir. What? So, a box of pills into a rubbish bin that has red... You know, you could see this as, you know, you throwing away the red pill and rejecting that terminology, yeah? You could also see it like that. I wonder why you didn't. You can have someone in a game like Life is Strange, maybe, say the only way... I can't remember exactly what they said anymore, but basically involves controlling all men. Just enslaving them, why not? And then those games just having overt political actions that are based upon the extreme authoritarian bent that the world seems to be taking right now. Mainly based around communist ideals and socialist ideals. But this one little thing that might just somewhat be a reference to something you don't like. Ooh, you know, the red pill with the noggin jogging. Can't have that. Can't have just a simple little thing, because it undermines your control. That's all it is. That's why you got so freaked out and angry, because it undermined just a slight bit of your control. You disgust me, Kotaku, and anyone who ever raised this as a complaint. And you know who disgusts me most of all? Void Interactive. Void Interactive. You are disgusting cowards who bent the knee and deserve no money at all from anyone. How dare you? How dare you? I will never buy Ready or Not now unless you come out with an apology and re-up these assets. Screw off. You deserve nothing. You deserve nothing from me. In fact, I'm going to attempt to never buy anything that you ever make or publish again. Thank you very much. Immediately gone from slightly interested, very interested, to not interested at all now. Unless you apologise for your cowardly behaviour, of course. Fuck you.